We like to spend just a couple of minutes every week, if we can, talking about ways that we can be mindful so that it reduces stress. And I know for a lot of you, we're just a week and a half away from starting the holiday treadmill for real, where first we're going to have Halloween. And those of us who have kids that are on the autism spectrum, sometimes it all moves a little too fast because there's a lot of sensory things that are going on. And we're so busy trying to orchestrate it so that our kid is okay that sometimes it flies by and we don't even know that it happened. Well, one of the things that you can do to help yourself, and if you are able to teach this to your child, it's something that works really effectively. If you've ever watched a photographer at a wedding and talked to them, they'll tell you, oh, I prefer to be behind the camera because I get to see everything, but sometimes it removes me a little bit so that I get to, have my own reaction to things. Well, you don't actually have to have a camera in your hands, although sometimes for our kiddos, to give them an actual literal camera and have them take pictures and give them the assignment, take pictures, can reduce stress. But even if you don't actually have one, you can take mental pictures. Sometimes when things are just flying by so fast, we don't have time to appreciate what just happened. So if every once in a while, even if it's once an hour, if you say to yourself for just a minute, I'm going to stop and take a mental picture of this moment. I haven't been able to have a date with my husband and I don't know how long. And a week ago Friday, last Friday, we had the opportunity because my son had an event at his school that we couldn't go to. And my husband and I had a date. We went out to dinner and I found myself sitting there with him and I took a mental picture just for a moment to stop and think about all the things that you can see. And I was looking at the way the light was hitting his face and the way the light was in his hair and he's beautiful. Do you know what I mean? And I don't take the opportunity even to look at my husband on most days because we're so busy running, right? But I stopped for a moment and I looked at him and not just looked, but I looked. You know what I mean? You take a picture, a mental picture that you say, I want to remember this forever. So what are the things you got to remember? It's sensory, like what can I smell? What can I see? And all the details of it. And what can I hear? And it's amazing what happens when you take that mental picture. It slows everything down into this moment, which is really what mindfulness is about. This moment right here. I always say to myself, joy doesn't happen in the past and it doesn't happen in the future. It can only happen in the present. And isn't it funny that it's the word present? Because if we're there, it's a present to us. So slow it down, take a picture. When it comes time for Halloween, and if you're participating in it in any way, shape, or form, whether it's that you're dressing your child up and you're all going out trick-or-treating, and it can be very hectic, right? And it seems like, it's there and it's over, right? Try to find a moment to take a mental picture and feel the breeze going through the trees and rattling the autumn leaves, and look at your child in their costume and see that moment. Because man, they all fly by so fast. We have to stop and smell the roses, right? So don't just smell them, take a picture of them in your head. And you'll find that it reduces the stress in the moment and actually can open your mind to how beautiful things are. And I had this written down, and then I watched that show, Kevin Probably Saves the World. I gotta tell you, it's part and parcel about that. You get to see this man who thought his life was over appreciate the very smallest things. It's luscious show. So take the mental snapshots and appreciate what is.